Mr. Peabody, either leave or I'll call a security guard.
I'm dressed like an archaeologist.
Archaeologist? You're heading out to dig up ancient ruins?
Chaplain Jake, are the stories in the Bible true? Was Jericho a real city? What about that Joshua guy? And how do you do that?
I'm Miss Jean. Join me on a trip to Discovery Mountain, where the air is clear enough to hear your imagination, and where every day is an exercise in faith. Join me for today's expedition in Discovery Mountain. I'm Miss Jean. In last week's episode, Mrs. Lee had a new student. Genet Beckman was born in Ethiopia, and Steve and Amy Beckman adopted her when she was very little. Well, now they've moved to Mountain Meadows. That's a brand new development near Discovery Mountain with a high wall and state-of-the-art security. Genet's first day at Discovery Mountain Academy, it didn't go very well. Everyone had trouble with her unusual name. And Harold? Well, Harold was less than gracious with Genet. He didn't make her feel very welcome. I hope that he tries harder in today's episode. It's called Shut Out, and it's the second in this story series called Walls. Let's join them.
Yesterday was horrible, Mom. Kids barely even talked to me. I told you they'd shut me out.
It's only been one day.
That boy asked me if Genet was even a real name. And then there's Bible class.
What about Bible class?
Why are we studying it anyway? Did you know about this?
Oh, well, Mrs. Lee might have said something.
The Bible's just a bunch of stories. Dad says we shouldn't believe in something unless it can be proven.
Well, maybe it doesn't hurt to keep an open mind about Bible class and your classmates.
All right.
I'll pick up another after-school treat at that cute cafe again.
At least I'll have something to look forward to. I can eat the muffin while I work on my special project. But
what?
I'll feel better if I don't have to walk into school alone. Do you mind coming with me?
Mind? I'm glad you're not too old to want to be seen with your mom.
Hi, Genet. Catch up and walk with me.
I'm walking with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Genet, who's the one shutting people out now?
I'm just more comfortable with you.
You need to give them a chance.
Okay.
Amy, you're just in time. Cranberry apple muffins are fresh out of the oven.
Delicious. I'll take one for me and one for Genet. But I have to confess, I didn't come back just for the muffins.
Oh?
I keep thinking about what you said yesterday, about God bringing just the right people to Discovery Mountain.
It's true. I learned it firsthand. When I moved here, my marriage was falling apart, and so was I. I wasn't sure I'd made the right decision or what I was supposed to do next.
So you asked God? You said you believed in him.
That's just it. I didn't really know him yet.
You didn't?
No, but he knew me, and he led me to Discovery Mountain so I could find him.
And you think that's why I'm here? So I can find God?
Why do you think you came to Discovery Mountain? What were you searching for?
That's easy. We were looking for someplace safe. I may not like the wall around Mountain Meadows, but it certainly does protect us.
Is that all you were looking for? Safety? Because I think you're looking for something more.
Okay, I admit it. I like the idea of God, but I don't know if he's even real.
Tell you what, why don't you come to church with me so you can learn more?
Oh, I'm not ready for that yet. But thanks. You've certainly given me a lot to think about. And thanks for the muffins.
If you think they're good, you should try my brownies.
Oh, brownies are my weakness. Thanks again, Michelle. Bye. Oh,
Oh, sorry. I hope I didn't crush your bag there.
Are you okay? Yes, thanks. My muffins and I are fine.
Say, I think I know her. She's the lady I met in Trekkers yesterday, from Mountain Meadows.
That's right. Her name's Amy Beckman.
Yeah, and her daughter Genet is in Mrs. Lee's class.
Genet.
Oh, that's right, Genet.
That's quite a coincidence. We're headed to Mountain Meadows now. We just stopped to get some muffins first.
I'm not sure it's a coincidence.
You're not?
I don't believe in coincidences. I told you I thought God wants me to reach out to the people in Mountain Meadows, and I think running into Amy Beckman was just a reminder from him.
I think you're right. Amy's searching for something, and I'm pretty sure it's God.
Then we'd better hurry and get to Mountain Meadows.
2 muffins coming right up. I'll put them in a bag so you can take them with you. If God told you to go to Mountain Meadows, you don't want to keep him waiting.
Jake,
No, hi, Natasha.
did you forget you're supposed to teach Mrs. Lee's Bible class?
Of course not. Jacob P. Donovan never forgets his promises. Well, almost never really. I mean, not technically, like hardly ever really, you know.
Well, then why are you headed on a hike?
A hike? Did I forget we're going on a hike?
No, you're dressed like you're going hiking. Cargo vest, backpack, hiking boots.
Oh, that! I'm dressed like an archaeologist.
Archaeologist? You're heading out to dig up ancient ruins?
No! I'm headed to Mrs. Lee's class. We're gonna really dig into the Bible. Get it?
I get it.
Oh, that's the next class starting. Gotta run. I better hurry. Wish me luck.
Good luck, Jake. I have a feeling you might need it.
I heard that.
What is Chaplain Jake up to? Archaeologists dig up ancient houses and cities, and the objects they find are like messages from the past, telling us what life was like long ago. So why is Jake dressed like an archaeologist? Well, we'll find out after this break.
Are you searching for answers to life's toughest questions? Questions like, does my life really matter to God? Well, the Voice of Prophecy Bible Guides will help you find the answers you're looking for. Visit BibleStudies.com and choose the free Bible study lessons that fit you best. Choose to study online or have the lessons mailed directly to you. That's BibleStudies.com.
Hey, Gracie, what'd you get for problem 17?
I'm not quite there yet.
Have you done 17 yet, Genet?
It's Genet. And yes, I finished the whole assignment 10 minutes ago.
No way.
You don't believe me?
No, I just meant...
Class, while we're waiting for Chaplain Jake, I have a reminder about your baby pictures for you to take home. I just have to print it out.
I'll help pass them out, Mrs. Lee.
Thanks, Lana. No, why won't it print? My computer seems to be frozen.
You might need to do a force quit.
A what?
A force quit. Press Option, Command, and Escape. Wait 5 seconds, then restart your computer.
I guess it won't hurt to try.
If the file was saved properly, it should come right back up.
It worked. Now I can print out the note. Thank you, Genet. Jake.
Don't look so surprised, Mrs. Lee. I told you I'd be here to teach class.
But Jake, you don't look like you're ready to teach.
I don't? What do you mean?
You have a canvas pack and you're wearing a cargo vest and hiking boots.
Are we going on a hike, Chaplain Jake?
Yay, field trip!
What? No field trip, Harold. I'm here to teach you about archaeology.
But Jake, you're supposed to be teaching Bible class.
Oh, I am, Mrs. Lee. Yes, indeedy. Just you wait and see.
You're going to teach us about Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark? Who said anything about Noah's Ark?
You did. You said you were going to teach us about archaeology.
That's not what archaeology means.
That's right. I don't think I know your name.
Genet is a new student, Chaplain Jake.
Oh, well, pleased to meet you, Genet.
It's Genet.
Oh, sorry, Genet. Now, where was I?
I think you were going to explain what archaeology is.
Oh, right. Archaeologists dig up ancient cities to learn how people lived. They can actually tell what people wore, how they built houses, and what they ate.
But How can they tell all those things?
From the stuff people left behind, like tools, bones, pieces of broken pottery.
You mean they go through people's trash?
Well, I guess you could say that. Ancient trash tells archaeologists a lot about the past.
But Jake, I still don't see what that has to do with Bible class.
Well, Mrs. Lee, I'm planning to use archaeology to show evidence that the Bible is true.
Proof the Bible is true, but the Bible is just a bunch of stories, isn't it?
Well, yes. I mean, no. I mean, yeah, the Bible is full of stories, but they're more than just stories.
The stories in the Bible really happened.
How do you know?
I guess you just have to have faith.
Well, yeah, faith is good, Gracie, but God doesn't expect us to have faith without evidence. And archaeology gives us plenty of evidence.
It does?
Yes, indeedy. Evidence that one of the most amazing stories in the Bible is absolutely, positively true.
Are you absolutely, positively sure this is the right road?
The car up there has a Mountain Meadows bumper sticker on it, so we must be going the right way.
These curves make my stomach feel funny.
Yeah, Stan complained about the curves too.
Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that muffin.
Look, there's the gate and the bridge Stan warned me about.
What's wrong with the bridge?
He said it was icy, so I better take it easy. That other car is slowing down too.
Stan was right. I felt the car slide a little bit. Good thing you were going slow.
Uh-oh.
What?
The gate. It's electronic. We won't be able to get in without knowing the code.
You mean we drove out here for nothing?
Wait, if we stay real close to the car up ahead, I think we can get through before the gate shuts.
Are you sure?
Here we go.
Craig!
We made it.
That was close. Too close.
Do you see a place to park?
Over there?
Wow. They have a clubhouse and a pool. And are those tennis courts?
The houses are beautiful. Too bad they're hidden behind that huge wall.
I think that's the point. The wall is supposed to be intimidating.
Well, it's working. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to come.
But it was God who gave me the idea. Look, there's the office. Let's start there.
Welcome to Mountain Meadows. I'm Steve. Do you have an appointment to see one of our homes?
Appointment? No.
Well, you need an appointment to tour a home. I can book one for you. I'm head of the Mountain Meadows HOA.
HOA?
Homeowners Association. We manage Mountain Meadows and enforce the CC&Rs.
CC&Rs?
Covenants, conditions, and restrictions. The rules that protect and maintain the community.
I see.
Actually, Steve, we won't need an appointment. We didn't come for a tour.
Then what are you here for? I hope that you're not selling anything. That would be against CC&R rule number 11.
Oh no, we're not selling anything.
I'm Pastor Peabody, and we want to hand out these flyers inviting everyone to the Harmony Corner Church.
Absolutely not. I just told you we don't allow any soliciting.
But we're not soliciting. We just want to invite people to church.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave now.
But...
Mr. Peabody, either leave or I'll call a security guard.
You have security guards?
On-site security is just one of Mountain Meadows' many safety features. I'm calling them now.
That won't be necessary. Come on, Craig.
I can't believe it. We just got thrown out.
At least we're not being escorted out by a security guard.
I was so sure God wanted me to reach out to the people of Mountain Meadows. I wasn't expecting such a setback.
Make that setbacks.
Huh? What do you mean?
Look at your car. Did we just get a parking ticket?
Let me see that. It says parking here is a violation of CC&R rule number 27. And there's a $25 fine.
Payable immediately.
Steve, I thought you were still in the office.
I wanted to make certain you got on your way without any further trouble. Now, will you be paying with cash, a check, or a credit card?
First, can you explain why we got a ticket?
Didn't you see the sign out front?
What sign?
So you didn't read the sign.
I'm afraid I was concentrating on not sliding off that icy bridge into the creek.
The sign clearly states CC&R rule number 27. Guest vehicles may only park in designated spots outside the front gate.
But there are 2 other cars parked right here next to us.
Street parking is allowed during the day with a temporary permit, obtainable from the office between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4:30 p.m.
Okay, how do we get a permit?
You're planning to come back?
Well, we'd still like to invite the families here to the Harmony Corner Church.
Mr. Peabody, as I already told you, there is absolutely no soliciting allowed.
But
Cash, check, or credit card, Mr. Peabody.
here's my card.
Thank you. And I should inform you that according to CC&R rule number 28, the fine for a second parking offense goes up to $50.
The Peabodys just want to invite their Mountain Meadows neighbors to church. But so far, Mountain Meadows hasn't been very inviting. The HOA rules seem designed to shut people out, and the Peabodys got a parking ticket. I wonder if they'll ever get their invitations delivered. And I also wonder about Jake's Bible story. He said he had evidence that one of the most amazing stories in the Bible is true. Do you have any idea which story it is? Well, we'll find out right after this short break.
Hi, Kate Browning here. I play Kylie on Discovery Mountain. Take an adventure with your friends in Discovery Mountain in the book Mission Forgiveness. In this interactive faith adventure, you decide what happens next. Find Mission Forgiveness at discoverymountain.com/store.
Jericho? We're going to study the Battle of Jericho? But Chaplain Jake, it's almost Christmas.
Yeah, it is, Harold, but what's that got to do with Jericho?
My question exactly.
I don't understand.
It's almost Christmas, so you should do a Christmas story. Wise men or shepherds or Bethlehem or something.
I hadn't thought about that. You see, I was just really excited about this online archaeology class I've been taking.
What's the Battle of Jericho anyway?
You've never heard of the Battle of Jericho? I learned it when I was a baby.
A baby?
Well, maybe not a baby exactly, but I was just a little kid.
I remember singing the song in the Tiny Tots division at church.
What song?
You don't know the song either?
It goes like this. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho.
And the walls came tumbling down.
Little Natalia's in the Tiny Tots division now at church, and she just started learning that song herself.
Am I the only one who's never heard of this song?
She always claps her hands when the walls come tumbling down. It's her favorite part.
Mine too.
What are y'all talking about? Who's Joshua? What walls?
Ooh, excellent questions. And we can find some excellent answers in the Bible and archaeology. But first, we've got to back up a little.
Back up?
You want us to push our desks back, Chaplain Jake?
All right, everybody, get back. Chaplain Jake needs some space.
No, that's not what I meant, Mr. Literal. I have plenty of space.
Wait, then why did you ask us to back up?
I meant we need to back up in time.
How far back?
Precisely 40 years. You see, 40 years before Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho, the Israelites had been in the same spot.
They had?
Yeah, just picture it now. Here they are, right on the edge of Canaan, the land that God promised he was going to give them.
What happened?
Well, their leader Moses decides to send 12 spies to kind of scope out the land, you know? Now, 2 of them, Caleb and Joshua, say that with God's help, they could easily defeat their enemies.
But what about the other 10 spies?
Oh, they are afraid. I mean, like shaking in their boots afraid. And then they go and make all the other Israelites super scared too.
Afraid of what?
Giants. Yeah, they said the people who lived in Canaan were like giants. And they had giant walls around their cities all the way up to heaven.
I'd be afraid too.
But Chaplain Jake, if God was on their side, they shouldn't have been afraid.
Well, that's right, Gracie. But God said that because they didn't have enough faith, they couldn't enter the promised land after all. They were shut out and had to wait.
Did God put them in timeout?
Oh, you bet he did. 40 years. All because they didn't believe what God said.
That's a long time.
Oh, you bet it is. Now, the 40 years are over, and all the people who had been afraid and hadn't trusted God are gone. Joshua's in charge now.
The same Joshua who'd been a spy?
The very same. God told him it was time to lead the Israelites into the promised land. God promised he'd be with Joshua every step of the way.
Is that why Joshua wasn't afraid?
Yep, because he trusted God. He wasn't afraid at all.
Way to go, Joshua.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. 40 years earlier, the Israelites had looked at Jericho and said, no way we can fight those giant people and their giant walls. But all of a sudden, Joshua's telling them to pack their bags and get ready to take over the land God had promised them.
Did they obey this time?
Well, let's see what the Bible says. Here it is. They answered Joshua, everything you have commanded us, we will do. Wherever you send us, we will go. We obeyed Moses to the letter. We will also obey you.
Salmon, Enosh, I have something to discuss with you, but not here. Someplace private.
Yes, of course, Joshua.
Our leader wants to talk to us? Should we be worried or flattered?
I have no idea, Enosh, but we're about to find out.
Here, this is far enough.
What is on your mind, Joshua? Why have you brought us out here beyond the camp?
Salmon, I've been watching you and Enosh.
You have?
You're both intelligent and resourceful young men. And even more importantly, you're eager to serve both God and me.
Yes, Joshua, whatever you command us, we will do.
We have learned the lessons our fathers failed to learn. They didn't trust the words of God or of Moses, but we will trust and obey.
That's why I've chosen you.
Chosen us? For what?
We're about to enter the land promised to us by God, but first we must capture and defeat Jericho.
We are not afraid, Joshua.
What is it you wish us to do?
I need you to look over the land on the other side of the river. Go into Jericho and bring back a report of the city.
You're sending us as your spies?
Yes, you can do this. God will be with you and guide you.
Well, we'll leave at first light.
Whoa, what just happened? The story seems so real.
Your story was pretty interesting, Chaplain Jake, even though it wasn't a Christmas story.
Class, it's time to go. Make sure to take home that note for your parents.
Bye, Harold. Bye, Genet. Remember to bring your baby pictures tomorrow.
I may not be able to find any. Mom hasn't finished unpacking.
You have a mom?
Of course I have a mom.
Then who's that blonde lady who brings you to school?
My mom.
Your mom? You don't look at all like her.
Harold, stop being rude.
All I said was Genet and her mom don't match. How's that rude?
Harold, Dad and I are waiting. Let's go.
Coming.
He didn't mean to be rude, Genet. He's actually very nice.
If you say so.
God, I want to be Genet's friend, but I don't even think she likes me. And I know she doesn't like Harold. But that's kind of his own fault. So, God, please show me how to help us all be friends, okay?
Jake, I wanted to thank you again for teaching my Bible class.
Oh, I love doing it, Mrs. Lee. You know that.
Mrs. Lee, Chaplain Jake, I'm sorry to intrude, but Genet had so many questions about today's Bible class. I finally turned around and came back to find you.
Those must have been some important questions.
Chaplain Jake, are the stories in the Bible true? Was Jericho a real city? What about that Joshua guy? And how do you do that?
Whoa, slow down. How did I do what?
Make it so real, like I was right there.
Oh, well, that wasn't me, Genet.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's just what happens in Discovery Mountain.
Jake's right. In Discovery Mountain, your imagination comes alive, and so does the Bible.
Well, whatever made it happen. Genet wants to know more.
Oh, that's awesome! I'll be answering some of your questions tomorrow. In the meantime, here, take this Bible with you if you want to read ahead.
Thanks. I have a special project at home to work on, but I'll start reading it as soon as I've finished.
Oh, what project?
I'm making cards to raise money for students at the orphanage I came from.
Genet's giving up her Christmas presents and using the money for their school supplies instead.
No Christmas presents? Wow, you really care about those kids, don't you, Genet?
They need school supplies more than I need new clothes or toys.
Genet, I'll buy some of your cards.
You will?
Orphanages are important to me, too.
I'll bring some tomorrow. Thanks so much, Mrs. Lee. You too, Chaplain Jake.
That reminds me. I haven't talked to my friends at Sunrise Home Orphanage in a while. I'll email them right now. Oh, what a coincidence.
What is it?
I have an email from Sunrise Home.
Oh, what does it say?
God, are you trying to tell me something?
Genet is giving up her Christmas presents in order to buy school supplies for kids at her orphanage.
Wow, that is a great gift.
It really is. You know, Director Doug, Colossians 3:12 says we should clothe ourselves in compassion and kindness. That's exactly what Genet's doing.
But the verses don't stop there. Verse 13 says, "May I be patient with my friends, and may I forgive freely like you have forgiven me."
That's true. Do you think Genet will learn to be patient with Harold and forgive his ill-mannered comments? And will Harold learn to act more like a friend? And what did Mrs. Lee's email say? I have so many questions.
Me too. But just like you, we'll have to wait till next week to get some answers.
That's true. In the meantime, let's exercise our faith and work on being patient, forgiving, and kind with the people around us, whether they're friends, family, or complete strangers. God doesn't shut anyone out from His love.
And we'll see you again next time.
You've been listening to Discovery Mountain, where the air is clear enough to hear your imagination, and where every day is an exercise in faith. To listen to other episodes and to send us a message, visit us online at discoverymountain.com or write to us at Discovery Mountain, P.O. Box 999, Loveland, Colorado 80539. In Canada, write to Box 2127, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, L1H7V4. Discovery Mountain is a production of The Voice of Prophecy. Join us again next time here at Discovery Mountain, where every day is an exercise in faith.